Welcome to the Grastards. I'm Andre.
I'm Ariel.
And we are going to start a new section of our talks. It is called Roundtable with the Grastards.
Roundtable.
We've got a few of you Grastards out there, fellow Grastards, that are asking us questions in the comments and some in the DMs. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, post them in the comments so we can get this algorithm up. But we'll take DM questions. So I decided let's just, Ariel wrote them down. We're going to answer them some questions, some anime stuff. I believe they're mostly this time.
Yeah. I mean, we're a small channel, but we got people that have been with us, day one.
Yeah. So support. Yeah, it takes a second for just to click it and move on or something. Shit, but
this round table is going to be anime. We got a couple questions here that people have asked. Want our input on, and we're happy to.
I'm ready
to share our thoughts.
I can give my thoughts on anything. So
yeah.
All right, dude. Yeah, go.
All right, so I'm going to start with the first question on anime. So with the new stuff going on with Boruto, the new manga has come out.
Oh yeah. True Blue Vortex.
Blue Vortex, yeah. So the question is, do you think that Shikamaru will make a good Hokage now that he is the 8th Hokage?
That's a good question. Because I fucks with Shikamaru. I think
I do too. He's one of my favorite guys in the Naruto.
Yeah, I don't think it's always about you've got to be the most strongest to power an extra animal or tail beast or something like this. So I mean, it was a bit of a shock that he got picked because he has Shadow Jutsu. But I'm thinking that he most likely developed some more powerful ways, use it in the daylight, that we haven't seen yet, because or maybe some ninja tools that increase it, like this ninja pill blocks out the sun for 10 minutes or something, something like this. But I think the way he thinks, and he's always like 3 steps ahead of everybody, I'm buying it. I kind of don't see anybody else that's on that level. I would have said Neji, but he's gone. Like Rock Lee could have made a good one, but he's too like airheadish and everything like this. I don't know if he's
got no taijutsu, man.
That's what I'm saying. So if you get taijutsu, is cool.
The only person that if it wasn't Naruto would have been Sasuke, but it's not gonna be Sasuke.
He's gone right now. He's with Boruto. They're training. So
Kakashi's been around.
Kakashi, yeah, he's gone, and he's I mean, well, the age thing doesn't matter because the third Hokage came back at 70 and everything. So, but Kakashi hasn't been around. So I could go with Shikamaru. I am hesitant. I see why people are thinking about because his jutsu is limited and everything, and it's the only one we've seen so far. He hasn't branched out. We don't know what his nature type is. If he has I've got earth too, so I got earth jutsus or summoning or something. So I think he'd be all right because he's a genius.
It's interesting that you went the jutsu route because I would have went the genius route. That's why he's the choice because he's had Naruto's ear. He's been the voice of reason for Naruto. You know what I mean? That guy, Naruto isn't the smartest.
Well, people like to say that he's a genius of Surprise and shit like that because he always figures something out.
But I'm talking about the day-to-day stuff. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But do I think he'll make a good Hokage? I think this is where this is me thinking out loud. What I think is going to happen with Shikamaru is he's going to struggle to be Hokage, and something's going to happen to where he's for the good of the village, I'm gonna do it this way, and it's going to be the people of the village aren't going to
Of course, well, that's the thing with you got the genius people that don't think with their emotions. They're robotic. They're more pragmatic, as one of my friends out there loves to say. He's more pragmatic. So those decisions all the time aren't the popular decisions with everyone. Right. People don't understand you do things sometimes for the greater good that they don't like. Right. And everything. But I think it'll be a good Hokage. But the thing is, from what we've seen, like I said, I think he's got to up his jutsu game and stuff because his plans always involve other people or other stuff like this.
And he's a good general.
Yeah,
he's a very good soldier general.
Yeah.
Do I think he can be a mayor or whatever the equivalent Hokage is?
Because Hokage show up the 4 did. They're supposed to change the game.
Yeah.
That's why I was power scales, chakra
the second Hokage.
You show up, nigga. You see, even Minato. You see this nigga run. You don't even just run because you're dead.
And you're not gonna be able to run fast enough.
Yeah. So it's yo, dope. It's I think that's cool. So nice question.
Cool. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to the next question. In anime manga, there's a lot of different power systems.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite power system? And by power systems, I mean like Jujutsu Kaisen has like cursed energy. Naruto has like chakra, which translates to jutsu.
Yeah, this is an easy question for me, my nigga.
All right, what do you got?
Power level.
Power level?
That is DBZ. I just love the power level.
Key?
Yeah, they say it's key, but they never say the word key in that show. It's power level.
Just DBZ.
Yeah, and he's like, which is power level was over 3,000 or 9,000. That was the greatest quote in like one of the shows when they talk about power level. Or it's like, I love that power level. And you can't tell it's skyrocketing.
It's infinite. It has no. It has no like you can. Just keep getting stronger. Like,
love
keep
it.
Doing something
love it. It's just like they just stop even giving you numbers. It's like this power level's off the charts. You can't believe this. And it's like, oh, you
so you like what the power level translates into? So like this person reaches a certain power level, they can go Super Saiyan. This person reaches a certain power level, can do this.
Well, that's
because
been disproven.
Krillin's power level is different than
that. Yeah, well, he's human. That's what I'm saying. It's been proven different, especially with Super coming out. When Kaba and all those ones, they didn't have a power level. They just like. Well, if you tingle your energy in your back, you can transform into a Super Saiyan. So, I mean, it's no longer that kind of, you reach 10,000, you can change and everything. It's like, you get mad, focus your energy in the middle of your back, boom, you're
different
Super
ways
Saiyan.
To access it.
Yeah, and I was like, so they did that in Super, which I wasn't a fan of. I think Rage and the regular, being a certain strength level and everything is a cool trigger. But the way that the girls did it, and they just like, oh, just do this, and they were just Super Saiyan. I think so. I think power level is my favorite though. How about you?
So for me, when I was thinking about this, like what my answer was going to be, I like the quirks from My Hero Academia, and I also like the breathing from Demon Slayer. But I mean, I gotta go with like the chakra that translates into jutsu because I equate that to like the force. Like chakra, you have to have like a certain amount. Midichlorians, all that stuff. That's what's familiar to me, and I like that.
Why don't you just go with midichlorians then?
Because it's anime.
Oh, duh. Hey, Star Wars had those animes on Disney Plus.
No, you don't.
Hey, man, don't hate because you tried to get me to go wrong and shit. But I told him.
It's your answer. It's not wrong or right. But anyway, my choice would be chakra jutsu, and Andre is a seasoned anime manga person. I used to watch. I'm getting back into it. I'm going back in. I've watched Naruto consistently. That's probably my favorite. I probably know the most about that. But I've seen other things, but I like that the most.
Yeah, it's your pick.
So mine would be like the chakra jutsu thing. Yours is power level key, whatever Dragon Ball Z calls it.
Yep, I think that's straight.
Okay. What are yours? What are your comments? After all these questions, let us know what you think in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to debate. We want to talk.
Yeah, let us know if it's cursed energy or power levels, which it is.
Cool. So next question, and this one we got this one from a couple people. If you were introducing someone into anime that's never watched anime before, what would you recommend?
This is a common question. Like a lot of people ask this. I believe that it actually depends on the person. Because if it's someone that's a serious kind of, I don't like the big eye kind of anime guys and they all look like girls kind of thing. You introduce them something like Attack on Titan or Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, those type of things. If they're more inclined to like have fun and care about adventures and stuff, you can bring them into like a Naruto kind of thing and everything like yourself. Naruto and stuff that struck a chord with you, but you don't really like Attack on Titan and all that stuff. Yeah,
just the subject matter of Attack on Titan is just
it depends on the person I'm talking to, because I could kind of tailor it. Like, all right, from you, I feel like you should start with a Saint Seiya or Hunter x Hunter or something like that.
Or like generalized, if you got to like general for your everyday
guy, and then a person I wanted to get in anime or something like this, I'd probably start him off with Brotherhood then.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist, because everybody loves Roy Mustang. Everybody loves the
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a good story. Like, it has its peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Where it's like oh man, it's really good, and then it kind of slows down and gets into like the storytelling, and then you're like, this is getting a little boring. But then something happens and it like completely takes it back up again. It goes a little higher, and then it kind of like keeps going down. But ultimately, it's a really good show.
Everybody's like heard of that one, so that's why I think that would be the best. If it was generalization of, I just have to pick one. Start with this, watch it, just let me know what you think. We'll go by arcs and everything. Like this arc, he joins the military and all this other stuff, and then the Philosopher's Stones and Homunculus.
The Sins or Homunculus, whatever.
Yep. So, what about yourself? What would you start?
I would probably say Death Note would be what I would start people with, because it still has, like, what is that guy, Ryu, whatever? Ryuk, the demon guy? Ryuk, yeah. It has the demon guy that comes out and talks to you. It has the story. There's some flashbacks, like a lot of like these animes, they'll do like the huge flashbacks.
You got mad
and like
flashbacks.
when there's fights and all that stuff. And some people don't want to see fights. They want to just see a good story. And I feel like Death Note is short enough to where you can commit to it and finish it, but it also, the story is done really well.
See, I want to touch on that because I feel like some people might think it's too boring and slow because it's a lot of listening. It's a suspense show.
It is a suspense show.
And like I love it.
That's what got me back into.
Yeah, I love it.
Is Death Note, and then a couple years ago, and then I been slowly, but surely, doing stuff. But
so in general, you would be like, Death Note is what you're going with.
In general, yeah. In general, I still would say Death Note.
You'd be like, here's 8-year-old kid.
Well, 8-year-old
watch
kid.
it. No. You said general.
General.
Yeah, don't try it. So, who got the better general pick?
Who was your pick?
That was Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. You can watch it, kids.
The kid, yeah.
Death Note.
Death Note is for the older crowd. For the older crowd. Teens, PG-13. No, Death Note.
Who do you think got the better pick? There you go. Let us know.
Next question. Who is the worst main character in anime that you've seen so far?
Oh, the worst main character that I've seen in anime so far. You go first.
To me, that's easy, and that is Takamichi from Tokyo Revengers. I cannot stand this guy. He's the worst. You haven't seen Tokyo Revengers.
I have not seen.
So Tokyo Revengers, very, very quick synopsis. It's like the butterfly effect, where person's in the future, starts off, he transfers back to his 12-year-old body, and then he has to like write some things, do certain things. He has the ability to go back and forth. He figures out a way how to do that, and then he'll go back into the present. Stuff's changed, and he'll be like, "Oh, I got to do this now," and it's just a series of him going back and forth to when he's 12 years old, and he's a 26-year-old when he goes into the future. So he has a 26-year-old brain as a 12-year-old, but the guy is the worst. He can't fight, and he's in a gang. Like, that's the whole point. He's in a gang that he has to fight and do all this stuff. So all he does is get beat up literally all the time. And then, like, his way of, like winning people over is being like, I'll never give up. So he'll just get the crap kicked out of him, and then he'll just stand up. And then everybody will be like, oh, Takamichi's so great because he didn't give up. I'm like, he didn't do anything. And a lot of the stuff that he changes, he doesn't really do anything. Like, somebody else will do something which will prevent whatever he was trying to solve, and then he'll be like, "Oh, it's cool. This person didn't die, so I did my job."
Yeah.
And then he'll go into the future, and then everything is messed up. It's like, this guy is terrible. Every situation that this guy has been in the 2 seasons that I've seen, he has not come out on top because of him. It's always somebody else helping him, or somebody else figuring it out, and then he kind of like piggybacks off of that. He's the worst.
Shit.
In my opinion. If y'all have seen Tokyo Revengers and it gets better or caught up on the manga or something, I've only seen till season 2. There was like 8 episodes. I finished it. I don't know like if it goes any further than that, but that's all I was able to find. But let me know if he gets better, or if finally he becomes some sort of like gets some sort of toughness, because this guy is not it.
Gotcha. Man, that's funny.
I want you to watch this just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's like,
because the show is good. It's a good show, but the main person is just not good.
Who's the worst anime main character? I would probably go with Gon from Hunter x Hunter.
Going? Oh yeah.
I just don't like the kid. I mean, he's okay, but he's kind of like one note. He wants to become a great hunter. He wants to find his dad. He's kind of just like, I don't know, a selfish guy, and everybody just seems to think he's the shit. And I'm
That's
like,
one thing early on. I don't know why. Like everybody was like, "Oh, it's we're gonna do a Gon to it." It's like, what?
yeah, he's
What-
like
what is
even
he
the
hurt?
even the adult. Like I guess I was like, you're like 8.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you and everything like this. So
You see other main characters like Midoriya in My Hero. He earned it.
yeah.
He goes in there. He fights. He gets he's earned like people.
And to be fair, him and Asta and from My Hero and then Black Clover, they both got on my nerves the first like arc. I don't like crying all the time, and Asta I don't like screaming all the time. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be the Wizard King, you care? And I was like, shut the fuck up, like and everything. But he does grow on you after that because they knocked that shit off. He still screams, but not as much as and not as obnoxious as before. But I would go with Gon, man. I can't rock with that man.
Gon. All right.
And they didn't finish the anime, so I was like, read the manga, and I kind of was like, I've been lagging on that, so just he never won me over, basically. He had some good moments, some badass moments, I'll give him that, but that does not make a great character. So I'm gonna go with Gon as my worst main character.
All right. So, what is a good anime that you don't hear people talk about much? So, anime that's really good, but it's not like in the popular circles, like Jujutsu Kaisen. You always hear people talk about that. My Hero, Naruto, Boruto, whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
But what is one that is good but doesn't fit like that mold?
I think one that's good that nobody gives a shout out to that kind of started me on my anime journey back in the 90s when I found a video of it at Blockbuster, and you can only judge a book by its cover. And I was like, this looks like a cool guy. It's a Guyver. I love the Guyver. They've done 2 iterations. One that was the 80s. That's translated in the 90s. That's the one I'm talking about. They did another one like 2006. It was a more modern one. But again, they didn't finish. The manga's not finished, so I can't blame them. But I'm like, Game of Thrones this shit. Just take it and finish the story and everything
Somebody
like this.
pick it up, yeah.
It's far enough along where you can pick it up and just finish the story arc and everything. But the Guyver and everything, Guyver 3 particularly was my favorite Guyver. He was like more adult and ready to do this.
In like 2-second water cooler speech. What is Guyver like? Is it a power? Is it an alien? Like,
yeah, Guyver, alien bio boosted armor, falls into a high schooler's hands. There's 3 of them in total. Guyver 1 is the high schooler. Guyver 2 is one of the bad guys, fine. Guyver 3 is another high schooler, but he's a senior. He's more of the badass Agito Makishima. I fucks with him and everything. And they're trying to stop Kronos. So Guyver 1 beats Guyver 2. Guyver 3 and 1 then try to take over Kronos. Kronos is an evil organization that's trying to turn humans into monsters and shit. And everything, alien monsters and everything. And they've been here for millions of years. They basically take over the world, so the Guyvers quote unquote lose. They don't stop them. They take over the world, and regular people are just signing up to become human, like just like you're joining the military. You're signing up to become an alien guy, and you pick a cool one. I want this guy. You turn into a big ass buff monster, and
they're ultimately bad, and then the Guyver's got to fight him.
The Guyver's got to take out this, and they got 12 overlords that they got to beat to save the world. But
so it's only 2 of them.
2 of them.
The other one's a bad guy.
Guyver 1 is the hero, main character. Guyver 3 is the anti-hero. Kind of wants to just take their place. He wants to be Kronos and then take over and be the leader. So that leads them 2 into a fight because Guyver 1 wants to liberate the world. Guyver 3 just wants to take over.
So it's really Guyver 1 against everybody.
Really, it comes to that because they're friends until a certain part in the story.
Got it.
It's great. And that's kind of where they ended after their fight, which Guyver 1 wins. And everything, of course, he's the main character. Yeah. But finish the goddamn show, and that's one that's great that no one talks about.
Cool. So, yeah. For me, I would say, and this is one that you actually introduced me to, Netflix. This is a Netflix anime. Record of Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like that one a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple episodes just came out. Quick synopsis. It's Ragnarok in this manga anime is a tournament between it's a battle between humans and gods. It's gods from all of the different pantheons.
Yeah,
So
the Greek gods,
Odin, you got
Norse
Hercules,
gods,
you got all the types of gods, and then you got all the humans that get chosen by Valkyries. Valkyries are representing the humans. So there's like a Valkyrie per human that gets chosen for this war. There's like 12 fights.
There's 12 fights.
12 fights. It's just a big tournament show. What's good about it is there is a lot of like, these are like Dragon Ball battles where it takes a long time.
Yeah, like 4 episodes.
But 4 episodes for one fight to be done. But it's interesting because it goes into the backstory of each of the people that get chosen. The people specifically on the human side aren't like the people that you would normally think of that they'd pick for a battle against the gods. For example, like
Adam.
The first human. Adam, naked and everything. He fights. And he is like super swole. But the way that they explain how he got his powers, and it goes back into his backstory of like what happened with Eve and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's very good. It's drawn differently. You're gonna see Thor. He's not gonna look like Thor like you're used to.
Yeah, don't think you're gonna see Helmsworth.
Yeah. You're not gonna.
He looks a little crazy.
It's very anime style, but it goes into like. The cool thing is it goes into their backstories and it shows them fighting. It shows like you get a clear winner at the end. This person won. This person didn't. It's 2 seasons in. They're about 4 fights in so far in these 2 seasons. But it's really good. I don't know why people don't put it up there. But if you're interested in mythology, if you're interested in anime, that's a good place to go.
Gotcha. Man, let us know in the comments. Which one you think hasn't been checked out as an anime no one's talking about, or are you gonna watch one of ours?
Yeah,
it's out there.
Take our recommendations. We want y'all to be watching this stuff and talking with us about it.
Cool.
All right. So last question for today. Any new animes that you're currently watching or that you've seen that are fairly new that you would recommend to somebody?
I mean, Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. Everybody's watching that. That's fan-fucking-tastic. That's like, there's not one bad episode so far. There's like 21, about to be 22 episodes in. Not one episode is bad. It's fantastic. Art, everything. That's the only new one that I could think of, but nothing that's really, I've been watching none of the Revengers or none of this shit.
All right, so mine, I mean, since I already talked about Tokyo Revengers and all that stuff, I'm going to go. This was actually a couple days ago. I was just hanging out, going through Crunchyroll, and I saw Reign of the Seven Spellblades, and I saw it was like 6 episodes in or something, dubbed, and I checked it out just because I put it on dubbed just because I was like doing stuff and I didn't want to read anything sub, and it's basically all these students, they go to like a school to learn how to fight like with swords. They're like magicians, very Harry Potter-ish. Mm. They're students, but I thought it was going to be like a quirky kid show in the first couple episodes, and there were 6 of them, so I'm like, I can get through this in 2 hours. And I had that time to kill, so 1 through 5, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know if I'm going to keep going with this. It was interesting enough, but it wasn't like really grabbing me, and then episode 6 happened, and I was like, I have to finish this.
A lot of anime start off and they got to get the story going before it grabs you.
So it got to episode 6, and then the main character, something happens with him, and you're like, wait, what? And that was how it left me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a really good chance now. I don't know where it's at, and like as far as the manga or anything, this is brand new. I think there's 8 total episodes out in Crunchyroll right now, but I'm only up to episode 6. But the way that ended was like, I got to see what happens, at least for 1 season, because it was really interesting.
Got it.
But if you like Harry Potter, and if you like magic, I like their magic system too. It says like what they're doing. They use like Latin, or Spanish for some of the terms. So like when they want to inflict pain, they'll say dolor, and then it'll be spelled out on top every time they use magic, and then they'll say it, and then it'll be spelled out, and then it'll have like a circle around it, kind of like a circle, like a shield looking thing.
Got it.
And then there you can use the powers with, like, they have a wand, and everybody has a sword. So probably gonna be a spell blade or something. I don't know. I know nothing. I just watched a couple episodes and it was pretty good. If y'all have seen that or if y'all read the manga got so far, let me know if it gets better. Let us know.
Yep. So ask questions. Let us know.
Yeah, if you have any more questions that you want us to review in the next one of these, doesn't have to be anime. It could be anything. We'll compile them when we get like five or six questions from each, and then we'll do another round table like this.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
What's in this water?